And we're joined by Mets prospect Ryan Clifford. Ryan, appreciate you taking the time to chat today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So growing up in North Carolina, what was your earliest baseball memory? And did you have a favorite team growing up?
I did, yeah. I was a Red Sox fan. My dad's from up north, so we were all Boston everything. And then as far as my first kind of memory, I think, was when I was playing with the 12U national team. We got to go to Taiwan and win a gold medal there. It was pretty fun.
In high school, when did pro ball become, something on your mind that you think could be a possibility? Or was your focus really going to Vanderbilt as you were committed to there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always dreamed of being a professional. So even before high school, I knew that it was something that I had a chance to make a career out of, and I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then as far as Vanderbilt, I wanted the best, baseball opportunity if pro ball were to not work out right away.
So you were ranked as a top 100 prospect in the 2022 draft class, and typically when a high school kid is ranked that high and they don't go in the top 2, maybe 3 rounds, the thought is they're off to college, especially when you're talking about a commitment like Vanderbilt. Were you surprised that you were drafted in the 11th round and signed and went professionally? Were you expecting to go to Vanderbilt after, like I said, the first few rounds?
Yeah, I definitely think, towards the middle of day 2, I was pretty confident that I was going to go to school. But I knew that, Houston had called and given us just a heads up that there would probably be some kind of offer coming. I understood the way that the slot round and all that stuff works and how going after the 11th can, you can get some overslot deals there. And so, yeah, as soon as, they offered and it was going to be inside of the range I was looking for, I knew that Houston was going to be where I was going to end up to start.
So how were those couple days? Did you have a party on day 1 or day 2 thinking you could go early? And then maybe it was just you and your parents hanging out, following the feed when you actually saw your name called. How'd those couple days go for you?
Yeah, I don't think I was quite that level of confident in getting drafted totally. Just had a couple friends over just to hang out. And then once I got the phone call that Houston was going to go at the end of day 2, I knew that day 3 would be the day that my name would pop up. So went from there.
So you're having a great 2023. And then you get the call that you're being traded to the Mets in a deal for Justin Verlander. First off, besides being traded being difficult, how kind of cool was it to say you were traded for a future Hall of Famer? And what were your emotions that day when you got word that you were traded and going to a brand new organization pretty much a year after being drafted to the Astros?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's something that not a lot of guys go through, especially in their first year of pro ball. And then obviously for someone of that caliber is pretty cool as well. Had a pretty good idea that, Justin and Houston were pretty tight and that there would be a good chance he'd want to go there. So I wasn't totally caught off guard by it, but at the same time, it's still, I didn't know what to think about it. I didn't really have an emotion. I was just kind of, intrigued and interested and, at the end of the day, it's a cool thing to happen. I'm glad that I'm here with the Mets now and looking to keep that going forward.
So how was your experience transitioning into the Mets player development system? What are some things maybe this spring training when you really got your first run here in Port St. Lucie? What's something that you took away from the player development group, heading into this season?
Yeah, I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of people, a lot of resources, a lot of different eyes to help you find little tweaks and things like that can help your game. Just an overwhelming amount of staff and support. It makes it a lot easier on the players' part to have those resources, and it was definitely a smooth transition for me.
So we got to talk about Brooklyn. Obviously, I think it's very unique. The Mets are, I think, the only team that has a minor league team in the same city as the big league team, but as a big left-handed power hitter, Brooklyn is not exactly overly friendly to your type of hitter. So at times, did that get frustrating at all, playing at Maimonides Park with the water coming off and you would hit a fly ball that you probably thought was going to go out and the breeze would pull it back in?
Yeah, I mean, I think, if you let it get to your head, it could be frustrating. But for me, I know, looking back, I'm not going to care what my numbers were in high A.
Right.
I think it's just another step in the road. It might have been a bumpier road for that part, but it is what it is, and you can only, keep your head straight and look to keep moving forward. So glad to be here in Binghamton and looking to finish the rest of the year out strong.
Did you get to explore the city a bit, or did you just kind of stay where you were around Brooklyn?
I just stuck around. Yeah, I didn't go out much. No exploring for me.
So you were promoted to AA, as you mentioned, at only 20 years old. What's been the biggest adjustment that you've noticed in the pitchers that you saw down at High A versus the pitchers here at AA, which a lot of people say is the biggest jump in the minor leagues to go from A ball to AA?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good stuff. Obviously, guys have a lot of great pitches, a lot of different pitches. I think just the biggest jump is that there's going to be more control over those secondary pitches. I think everyone at this point it has a well-established fastball, and it's more about who can control that off speed and land those breaking balls early, and then look to get you to chase late in counts.
So July 4th, there was obviously fireworks here after the game, but there was also fireworks in the game. You had your first professional 4-hit game, including a couple of those hits coming off of a big league rehabbing starter in German Marquez from the Rockies organization. What were you feeling on July 4th? Did you feel any different today, or did you just show up and it just 4 hits happened to go your way?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was just another day. It just happened to go, my way more times than not in that particular game, but just looking to approach every at-bat the same way, looking to do damage, especially early in counts and try to jump on fastballs. But, if I am to fall behind, look to battle and work a count and find a way to get on base.
So you've played 3 defensive positions. You played first, and you're playing both corner outfield spots in left and right. Where do you think you're most comfortable defensively?
For me, I don't think I have a preference over the 3. I think the corner outfield spots are going to be pretty similar to each other, and then first base is its own. But as far as comfortability, I feel good any way they put me. So I'm just looking to make plays on defense and help pitchers get outs.
Where do you see the space where you have the most room for growth offensively? Obviously, the on-base percentage is high and the power numbers are high. The batting average is probably not where you want it to be, but where do you see the most room for growth offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I'm hitting the ball pretty hard right now, so if I can just continue to do that, eventually they'll fall more often. Just looking to end at bats earlier in counts rather than getting late in the counts, and obviously, if they're not going to be aggressive, then I'm going to try and take my walks. But at the same time, like if there's a pitch in the middle of the plate early in a count, look to jump on it and hit a double or something like that. So offensively, I think just work on staying aggressive and not falling behind.
Last one for you, and I appreciate your time. What are your goals for the rest of the season? And now that you're at the AA level, I know you want to be where your feet are, but you're only a couple calls away from the big leagues. Does that ever creep into your mind at all?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just trying to stay where my feet are at. I don't want to get too far in the future and end up ruining the present. So just looking to attack every day like it's a new day and treat every at-bat like it's a new at-bat as well. But for goals-wise, just try and stay healthy, stay out in the field, and finish the season strong.
Ryan, appreciate it. Best of luck the rest of the way, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.